go? Okay,
There.
so.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going live. Okay, so I am here once again with Santee and Gogo.
Hey.
And we were just talking about why we are feeling encouraged about our conversations about love and business. And one reason I am feeling very encouraged is Marianne Williamson has announced her candidacy for president in 2024. And these ladies know I am like super psyched. I have not shut up about it.
Super giddy.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
And so I wanted them to share a little bit of why they feel like, well, okay, so let me say, I feel like Marianne's candidacy is certainly an indication that our conversations about love and business are not coming out of like, nowhere, that they are very relevant. And we started out talking about how the role of your love in your business drew me in, and how I think that gives a different quality to like the brand, if you will. But I also think like in terms of how you run your business, and one of the things we were talking about was Marianne's platform in terms of, that whole love thing. And the idea that your growth doesn't have to come at the expense of somebody else. And we were talking about this in terms of how they run their businesses, and running your business with consideration, and I would even say love and regard for the people who make your business successful. So y'all, let's speak a little bit about that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, it's obviously very relevant, that should, be the topic, especially when it comes to, business, you know what I mean? Because you got to show up with love, and depending on what you do, in my situation as a therapist and someone, a massage therapist, which is, just touch, I obviously need to utilize that, because it just creates a safe space, and it feels, just safe, just knowing that, this information is just being, accepted at this time, with, what's going on, with politics and everything. So yeah, it's absolutely, it's incredible. Nice.
Well, for me, the relevance would be love is just a simplified form of moral, the moral ground we stand on. It's the simplified form as why we do what we do. It's the simplified form moving forward in today's day and age. And so for her to be this way,
Right.
and
on that stage
is actually pretty incredible, because that's where the world is going now.
Right.
We are no longer the same world or earth that we were before. I see us coming into, like, we're in the new earth.
Right,
and now
right.
the vibration of politics and business has to match the vibration of the earth, which it all comes down to love in simplified terms.
I don't know why you saying that reminded me of the Amazon example, because I guess I was thinking about people watching this. And if Harrison sees this, thank you so much, Harrison, for your support. But Harrison has been somebody who's been in the corporate world and talks a lot about love in these sort of contexts. But we were talking earlier about Amazon, and I had shared the example of companies being more focused on data because they think that can increase their customer retention. So I'd share the example of, let's say, Amazon, which is a company I have some issues with, how they treat their employees. And so as a result of that, there's been a loss of customer share. I intentionally spend less money with Amazon. I feel like a lot of us have that app on our phone. It's like you have to detox or something, go through rehab. To break the Amazon habit. But I've definitely intentionally spent less money with Amazon, which is what they call loss of customer share. And so it's not a matter of just them using that data to offer me a better deal, because my reasons for leaving and giving more of that business to local businesses is exactly because of how they do business. And my intention not to support that, or certainly to do more to not support that, those kinds of businesses, and to spend more money with businesses that operate in what I would consider a moral fashion, and treat the people that work with them in a way that shows that they value their importance to the success of their business. That's a big thing. And it's no, I think that piece is what businesses are need to be paying more attention to, because I've been writing and talking about that for years, that there is this increase in what we're going to call conscious consumerism, right? I think that's what's driven, right? Conscious capitalism and conscious consumerism, and all of the data driven solutions for businesses do not take into account that they don't take into account the reasons that have nothing to do with money and product availability for somebody not doing business with your company. And I think that so many people being dismissive of that is going to result in more customers making those conscious decisions to find business providers for whatever it is that they're doing. Because I think that although I love the internet as much as anybody and finding things online, I have the way that we use it now, I think, is getting modified, like using it to find a destination in your community, a place to go where you can find the people to find your people, right? And then through that, I found like another local coffee shop owner, right? So it's like you meet these other business owners by connecting with one conscious business owner. So if that becomes a trend, which I hope it will, I'm hoping that this is where we're going, where that becomes the basis of customer loyalty, it puts some of those companies, particularly the ones that have been driving political decisions, influence, and outcomes, I think at a significant disadvantage, because unlike me, Santee and GoGo were not like, I'm not, maybe a political junkie, I don't know, maybe I am. But I've been like deep in politics and activism since I was 13. And so like I live and breathe this stuff. And even when I take what I consider taking a break, would not seem like a break to like most people, but I think about this stuff all the time. And so when I share with them, I try not to overwhelm them with it, but but I think that everybody, like you both agree with me though, that there is this connection between what's happening politically and the impact on people's lives. And I think that people not understanding that connection and how much businesses have driven those outcomes, that's part of what's changing. And I guess like data transparency helps with some of that. Popular Information is a great newsletter, by the way, for anybody looking to educate themselves about that, about the role of big money in politics and outcomes. If you think that running your business, living your life is harder than it needs to be, you definitely need to understand more about why that is. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we talk about like what in terms of how do we move forward in terms of solutions, one of the things that we've done is just like having these conversations, and this has grown out of our decision to. We started a mastermind, and it's us right now, but this is an outflow of our mastermind group, and the conversations that we've been having about what to do. With some of the love and the concern that we have, and just like having these conversations, opening them up. So some of the conversation obviously is being shared here with you guys when we do these lives, but we're looking at ways that we can bring other people into this as we start developing more, I guess like outcomes, because it's not really about like what can we create, what's in it for us exactly, but of course it has to be a good use of your time, or why do it? But we have been talking about Santee and GoGo's growth, and GoGo is also a musician. And so as well as being a touch healer, she is really gifted, a gifted musician. And so I feel like her expansion, stay tuned for that. That's going to be like, you're going to want to see that. But seeing them expand and grow, and Santee is doing so much in terms of events. You've got so much going on in the calendar coming up this spring.
Yeah.
Talk about love. How do you guys, what do you do within yourselves to be able to keep expanding to embrace more people?
Well, I mean, obviously anyone who's involved in our kind of work, you obviously will have some kind of routine, like meditation, something that calms you down, before ever you start, seeing clients, or for me to start singing. So that kind of grounds, and I feel like, that kind of has a ripple effect on the people that, you come in contact with, you know what I mean? So you're coming from a place of kind of calm and an open space for healing, and, that kind of, so just meditation and just being grounded.
What about you,
Yeah,
Santi?
for me, I heal myself. I'm all about healing myself and being in balance, mind, body, and spirit. And so, with me, I like to share it with everyone. So this is like a lifestyle. So, when somebody comes through and they're like, hey, I'm ready to move into my spirituality, or I'm ready to move forward with conscious living, that is, they can come and find an event at Mama Santi's house, or any one of us here at Mama Santi's house, because it's like me sharing it with friends. It's like, hey, come over to Mama Santi's house because we're doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is, Mama Santi has to do this for her balance, her health.
Yeah.
And so I like to share that and invite the community along with me, because, everybody will get something out of it. And
Right.
it all boils down to love. Everybody's going to be
Yes.
able to have a chance
Yes.
to love themselves.
And feel embraced by everybody else that's in the space, which is one of the
Right,
really
yeah.
wonderful things, is you really attract great people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You really do. She attracts like great people, which is one of the reasons that I love coming here. I was here Sunday for the Coffee and Cackles, Cackles and Coffee.
Cackles and coffee.
Cackles and Coffee.
Mhm.
And it was a lovely group of women, and you did exactly what you said. You opened up your house, invited us all in. We had coffee and cackles. You must come next week.
Yeah.
My husband actually came.
Yeah. That was cool.
That was
cool.
very
Right.
sweet. But that was like really, it was an interesting, diverse group of women coming together, exploring a topic, and then like still supporting and sharing. And I thought it was very interesting how much sharing happened. And there's something about, again, with love and that allows you to be vulnerable and to be really authentic and open. And I feel like it's been such a blessing for me to be open about the fact, like, this is the thing that I always tiptoed around as a consultant, was that love, you know what I mean? Like, that, how do you bring love into this? But I feel like now that's almost like my mission,
Right.
you know?
Because
It's to help people find that inroad to bring love into any situation.
Exactly. And then what helped me, just like kind of bringing it back full circle, is just simplifying it. Like, I'm doing all of this, and sometimes it becomes overwhelming. So why am I doing this? What am I accomplishing by
Right.
doing all of this? Why do I work so hard to do all this? Or, do I want to do all this? Well, yeah, because my intention is to love myself and spread love. And so when we're healing ourselves, we're not only healing ourselves in past, present, future through all dimensions, realms, time, space, we're healing our ancestral line, we're healing the world, we're healing our neighborhoods, our cities, counties, states. It doesn't just stop with us.
True.
I love that. And I
I
think that,
totally agree.
yes, and I think that what Gogo was saying too about that routine,
Yeah.
I think that's important. Otto Schrommer's Theory U, that the outcomes that you produce are directly related to the place within that you're coming when you take action. I think that what these ladies are talking about is so critical to the outcomes that you get, and I think that more people and more businesses need to take that seriously, that grounding, that centering of yourself before you take action within your business. It pays off big time.
Yeah, and
it
it's
really
so you
does.
can get on the right foot, because there's so much chatter inside of us, and we're healing ourselves, we're healing our shadow. We're shining the light in the shadow. So grounding and connecting and meditating every day will bring us centered to where we can actually,
Right.
go outside and conquer the world. Or,
Now, okay, now speaking to what you said though about the shadow, is that people have to do that shadow work so that you're not acting out of your trauma. And that's what brought us all to because this is a lifestyle. We talked about this. I call it a personal innovation lifestyle, but this is a way of living. But like one of the bit of the foundational work that's required is that you have to do that shadow work. You have to do that work to know yourself, to be able to understand the information that you're getting through your emotions so that you know how to navigate. But doing that work allows you to be more effective in whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's raising your kids or running your business or just doing your part to run somebody else's business. It makes the actions that you take come from a clearer place. When you're acting, the world that we have now, I'm going to say, is largely a result of people making decisions out of their trauma.
Yes. Yeah.
Would y'all agree? So when Sandy talks so much about healing yourself, that's a lot of what I think of when you're saying that, is that whole idea of like, if we heal ourselves, we don't constantly inflict pain on the world. Right?
Right. That's why I say heal yourself,
Right.
heal the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like breaking it down for people who don't live
But
in like
yeah.
the spiritual world that
You're-
we live.
Right. I tend to forget sometimes. But yeah, it is. The work is very super important.
Yes.
The work is hard, but it's very super important. And so, like there's nobody going to do that work for you.
Right.
You have to make a decision. You have to hold that intention. Like you were
Right.
saying, the intention is very important.
And as a mastermind group, I feel like that's the space that we're creating, is where we all keep our energies focused on that intent. That's kind of like the glue, right, of our
Yeah.
group, and looking to create out of that space. And so I feel like that is different from every mastermind that I've ever been a part of in that regard. So we look forward to, at a later time, like opening that up and sharing that with people. But for now, I'm going to end my part of this conversation, at least the recording. And if you want to continue with us, you know how to get in touch with me. And if you don't, good luck.
We will share all of our. I'm telling my people and everything because I'm actually going to post this up on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm gonna share all of your guys' information so everybody could go and follow my dear friends here, as well as all of our social medias, and just stay in tune and up to date with the love in the world.
Yes.
And please like and subscribe and all that jazz. But I think that's pretty much it. I think
the rest of this is just going to be for us. So you guys,
Yeah.
bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.